Hey guys, happy Sunday. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at All I See is W, where we talk about stocks, Bitcoin, and finance. In today's video, I'd like to do a deep dive analysis. First off, sharing with you the latest updates around the Bitcoin market, as well as sharing with you my price predictions of Bitcoin and strategy MSTR stock, what my price prediction in 2025 is. Most of you are wondering, is now a time to continue buying Bitcoin MSTR, holding or selling? What's my price prediction? We'll cover all of that, and I'll also be playing a couple epic video clips of Michael Saylor, so I would encourage you to watch through the end. Now, if you're new to this channel, first off, I'm so thrilled that you're here. I would encourage hitting the like and subscribing for more related content. Let's begin, guys. Let's first start off with this visual. I love this image in that this character just takes a Bitcoin eye drop and now he has that laser sharp focus similar to Michael Saylor. He just keeps stacking sats since 2020 and he doesn't stop. Now he has that laser sharp focus and will continue to hodl. And doesn't matter how high or how low Bitcoin price is, he'll continue to buy. Here's an interesting post from Crypto Rover. So, breaking news in that Arizona could approve a Bitcoin strategic reserve at the earliest by tomorrow. We see Arizona in the last phase before it crosses that finish line. Also, one state to look out for is like Texas. It's not too far behind, but as soon as we get Texas getting enacted where the state can buy up Bitcoin, that's where we're just going to have global game theory ramp up very fast. Michael Saylor posts today on Sunday. Stay humble, stack sats. You know what that means. There's going to be another big orange dot. Most of you are wondering, is it going to be a small purchase or a big purchase? I'll give it you my perspective on what I think is going to come starting tomorrow with the announcement. So now we just see more and more orange dots being bought. I mean, seeing dots being bought before it reached, 100K, below 10,000, over 100K. It doesn't matter. Sailor will just keep buying up Bitcoin. So we're looking at the historical purchases of Bitcoin so far in 2025. One of the key things is back in late February, there was a big hodl of $20,000. Then, what happened? March 17 and 24, the next two purchases were small, sprinkled amounts, 130, then 6,900 Bitcoins. Then what happened the week after? A big purchase similar to like late February, 22,000 Bitcoins. So the last two purchases of Bitcoin following that big purchase at the end of March, 3,000, 6,000. I'm thinking because we got smaller purchases compared to what we saw 22,000 end of March, we may very well get like a 10,000 plus Bitcoin purchase announced tomorrow. Michael Saylor posts so far this year, MSTR treasury operations have generated a Bitcoin yield gain of $5.1 billion. So this is a newly created KPI that strategy has come up with, tracking key performance indicators and just having Bitcoin gain $5 billion just year to date. I mean, we're still in April, not even in the fifth month of the year yet. And just with the year to date Bitcoin gain, ramping up to 54,000 Bitcoins with the total hodl of, getting close to that, 600,000 Bitcoin. Simply Bitcoin poses a fun fact. MicroStrategy is the only major stock with positive returns since Trump's inauguration. What we see, Tesla took a big drop, 28%, Amazon 20%, Meta, huge drop off, Google, Microsoft, Apple, you name it, even Nvidia. But what happened with MSTR? Strategy continues to lead the way. Their BSC percentage gains has just continually dominated. Why? Because strategy is transforming traditional finance. Adam Back posts today, give treasury companies a bit of runtime in the market, and soon enough, the Bitcoin 7 will bypass Mag 7. Public companies now hold nearly 700,000 Bitcoin, with MSTR dominating at 77% of the total holdings. So we see MSTR leading the way since 2020 till now. Doesn't matter. MSTR leads the way because why? They have the most amount of Bitcoins on their balance sheet. I mean, when you compare all of the other, companies that hodl Bitcoin, not even, close to like 30%. So 80/20 rule, MSTR leads the way with holding 80% of everything. Bit memes daily. So just in, Vanguard Growth Index Fund has bought 646,000 Strategy B MSTR stocks for $200 million at an average price of $310 per share in Q1 of 2025. Now total holdings up to 2.6 million shares worth over $950 million. So that doesn't just end Strategy B. There's so much more companies, even Cantor Fitzgerald buying up MSTR, Canadian financial institutions, Strategy using that, buying up Bitcoin. There's truly no second best when it comes to this company right now. Supply shocks poses anybody who thinks that Saylor isn't going to ratchet up the buying over the next few months before the XXI reverse acquisition finalizes hasn't been paying attention. Obviously, we've heard Michael Saylor in video clips. I was afraid someone else would figure it out before me and buy it all. Does this mean Saylor will start ramping up the hodls now that there's more players at the poker table playing the global game theory? We have 21 being created, and now they have stacking sats of like, 48,000 Bitcoin. I don't think Saylor is going to slow down. He's going to get towards that 1 million Bitcoin hodl trajectory. With all of that, let's pivot over to technical analysis of Bitcoin and strategy. Where the current price of Bitcoin right now is 94,000, just based on technical analysis. What we're seeing is this bull flag where Bitcoin price continues to just retrace down with these downward slopes. We've seen just lower lows since April timeframe. However, since April 9th onward, we've been seeing Bitcoin on a bull run where it's crossed the 50-day simple moving average in orange. And then what happened? April 22nd, it broke through the 200-day SMA. We're seeing signs of, positive trajectory. We've been just consolidating where Bitcoin has been just going down for many months, and now it's beginning to prime to have a V-shape, U-shape, where I'm thinking somewhere around that sweet spot. Tom Lee forecasting 180, $250,000 is where we're headed. Bitcoin tends to run for 3 years. 2022 was the bear year. Now 2025, we're definitely off to the races. We're gonna retest that, 109,000 all-time high and start climbing up. I'm thinking somewhere around that Q2, we may hit that 150K. Q3, we may start climbing up to that, that 180, 250K range is where that sweet spot is. So with Bitcoin price forecast, what does that mean with MSTR stock? With Bitcoin forecast price for the year 2025, what does that mean with strategy? Let's say, for example, if Bitcoin breaks through that, that 1x gain goes up to about $210,000. I think that MSTR stock has a 200% potential. So let's say if Bitcoin 1x's from the current price, MSTR will have a 2x potential based on the MNAV. And what we're seeing just based on technicals, relative strength is picking up since that oversold situation late February. MACD is beginning to show signs of a reversal pattern. Volume is picking up. We're seeing higher lows at this point, and we're seeing now that the price action, it's hovered above that's newly established support line, which was the resistance line. And as soon as we get towards that prior resistance that we saw back in December timeframe of like 440, I think that's going to be that next tier. Let's say if market participants can push up the price to like 440 MSTR stock, and have that price hover to create that new support line. We may very well reach that prior resistance of 550 in Q2. But let's say if Bitcoin breaks through that 150K, I think that 750 is going to be where that price point is going to be. And once it runs up to 200K Bitcoin, we may very well see MSTR break through that 1,000, $1,200 price range. As we look at the weekly technicals of MicroStrategy, we see four green candles, which is a good sign. Definitely showing nice consolidation, new support line established. We may very well, break through that $400. The question is it going to happen this upcoming week? Very likely that it will. We're seeing that intersection with MACD 12-day to the 26-day MACD relative strength picking up. We saw that relative strength at 85 significantly overbought during that November timeframe when Trump inauguration happened, when price went to like 540. We haven't had relative strength breakout since then. So it's been nearly like half a year where overbought situation happened. So this is a key indicator to have relative strength steadily increase before we have that huge gap up. But I'm thinking somewhere around that four digits for strategy if and when Bitcoin price breaks through that $200,000 barrier.
And Bitcoin's winning. It's pretty obvious to anyone that, can chart the thing that there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. I'm advising everybody in the world that Bitcoin is digital capital. There's a revolution in the global capital markets, and traditional finance operates, 19% of the time for 10% of the world. That makes it a 2% solution. Bitcoin's 100% solution. It's not partisan. It's just a good idea. But because once you get Bitcoin and it clicks in your mind, your immediate reaction is, oh, I got to hurry and buy as much as I can because someone else is going to go take all my Bitcoin away from me. So like in 2020, when I started buying Bitcoin, I was thinking, oh no, I got to do this in a hurry because someone's going to figure it out and the price is going to 10x. And I better get it before it 10x's. So, I mean, that's a natural reaction when it finally clicks in your head because you're thinking, why wouldn't every billionaire in the world go and buy $1 billion of Bitcoin, smash buy it overnight, and just to make $1 billion? Because why wouldn't they just want to make the $1 billion or $5 billion or 10 billion or any amount of money? I mean, Bitcoin, it feels like in the early days, the infinite money glitch, right?
So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed another epic episode here at All I See Is W. Let me know what your thoughts are, what your price prediction of Bitcoin and MSTR stock is. I read through every comment and question. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.